anyone's out there. Hello, I don't think anyone's out there yet. I guess I will vamp to see if I get anyone who jumps in. Okay, so I'm just going to talk. It doesn't look like anyone's here. And the reason for this broadcast is because, just a quickie, I am going to keep this quick. I got on the scale today. Hi, somebody's popped in. I got on the scale today, and I was at a really new low. And I was surprised by that. So not just a little bit. I had a new low on Saturday. And, oh, hi, by the way, my name is Casey. Thank you for watching. I talk about the ketogenic diet and my experience on it. And for anyone who watches any of my videos, hi, Robin. I count new lows. So, but for me, because I've lost a substantial amount of weight, the new lows I count them in 1/10 of a pound. So I might go, hit a new low, and then it might be a few weeks and hit another 1/10 of a low. Hey, I'm going to give a shout out to the O2 Fitness in the historic Wilmington, North Carolina area. Hey, gals, the Keto Club. I said I'd do that. I'm doing it. Hello, everybody on the treadmills. Thank you for watching. Hi, Olga and Justine and Robin. So anyway, so I will lose at 1/10 of a pound, and I'm happy to do that. And I've been saying for a really long time, if I don't lose any more weight, I'm okay with that too. But I do like it when I lose more weight. This morning, I got on the scale. Not only was I 2.1 pounds lower than yesterday morning, high vintage, I was 0.9 pounds lower than my most recent new low, which was just on Saturday. And when I tell you that that I'm losing slowly now, I'm losing slowly. And I'm happy with that. Again, I'm not worried about not losing any more. I weigh less now than I ever thought I would weigh. But I wanted to share this with you. Olga just sent a yummy recipe for low-carb sausage casserole using jicama. Jicama is a very interesting food. So I wanted to share that with you guys. For one thing, I get so much support from you. And some of you may have already seen I did a Facebook Live event this morning just to say the same thing. I was so excited. And let me tell you what, I looked rough. I hadn't even had my coffee yet. And I was under bad lighting. But I wanted to share for several reasons. Good morning, Marianne. Whether you're at the beginning of trying to lose weight or get healthy, or in the middle, or near the end like I am. I mean, I'm never going to stop eating this way. But I can tell you I don't really need to lose any more weight, honestly. I'm very happy where I am. But I just want to lose now it's about 7 more pounds. If things slow up, just keep on hanging in there. So on Saturday, I'd lost to a new low, which was 1/10 of a pound lower than the previous new low. The time between Saturday and the previous one was 53 days. And that was to get an extra 1/10 of a pound. So hang in there. Now, hi, Anis, how are you, Anis? From the UK. I'm so glad you could make it. So what's different? And I also want to tell you, when I was doing the Facebook Live, I got a text in from a friend of mine who started doing this. She's been working kind of at it off and on for a while. Doesn't have a lot to lose. And she popped in while I was talking about my new weight loss, and she popped in. She said she lost another 1/2 of a pound. That's 3 days in a row. And I'm going to share, when I talked with her afterwards, the thing. And I'd lost the weight. So what's different? For me, I really believe I have, hi, Kirby Keto. How many clothing sizes have I gone down, jeans and shirts? I will answer that question. I'll do this first. I have really learned to only eat when hungry. And if you have watched any of my videos, you know that this is the challenge for me. It was not as hard for me to give up carbs. Keep in mind that a carb is a carb is a carb, whether it's a Snickers bar or a bagel or a whole grain slice of bread. Carb is a carb is a carb. It was easier for me to do that once I started this. But the harder part was eating only when hungry. We eat out of hunger. We eat out of boredom. Mostly eat out of habit. Sometimes we eat because the people in our household are eating. And sometimes the people in our household insist that we eat with them, that they're not going to eat if we don't eat. There are all kinds of reasons. Hi from San Diego. Adriana. Reynoso, perdón. But I've drilled it down. I really think. Let me read some of these things. I'm working, but looking. I'm working. Oh, how many clothing? Okay, we also wanted to say we loved you on Dr. Westman's link you posted. You stole the show. Oh my God, the gym is going nuts. Y'all don't stop working out now. To answer Kirby Keto's question, Kirby Keto, a particular favorite of mine. When I started this in January of 2014, and I saw Dr. Westman's white coat video, and it just made sense to me. And to recap, I was not trying to do this for weight loss. I'd been heavy for 30 years. And when I saw the white coat video, I was not even at my highest weight. I just didn't put any more carbs in my mouth after that. But I was trying not to have to take insulin for type 2 diabetes, which I was about ready to be diagnosed with, I was pretty sure. Anyway, I think I was wearing size 24W jeans from Costco, the only place I would buy clothes. And they have the spandex in them, they're stretchy. And I took up every inch of those jeans, the biggest ones they had in the store. So to answer Kirby Keto's question, the last pair of jeans I bought at Costco were the smallest ones they sold in the store, size 6. And the exact same brand. I would just go down. Sometimes I skip through a sizing. And now the 6s, I can wear them, or they got a little bit of room in them. And the other clothing, I started out an XX large cotton 3/4 inch sleeve shirts. If you see one of my before pictures on my blog, and maybe up at the top of this YouTube channel, you'll see me standing with a pale blue 3/4 sleeve cotton blouse and a pair of jeans. And a pair of giant, you can't see them, but a pair of giant clunky clogs, which are the only shoes I could fit in. And I got those in every color because they fit. And I think they were either 2 extra large or 3 extra large, the biggest ones they had in the store. At Costco again, I bought all my clothes at Costco. Now I get all my clothes from Stitch Fix, and I'm getting ready for a new delivery. And that's a whole other story, how clothing, I have a different relationship with clothing. Usually here in the house, I'm wearing sweat clothes. No, look at this. You see this? This was tight on me. And it's roomy now. So I've come down many sizes to answer that question. Size 6, yay! Yeah. So there was something, okay, so what's different? For some reason, over the last week, I'm down to about a meal a day, not trying to do that arbitrarily. And I'm going to share something with you. You know what's helped me? I have a coaching client who's a dear, and she posts privately to me pictures of her food every day. She does it wonderfully, these little vignettes of everything she's eaten. She does it on I won't tell you on the platform because it's private. And I loved it. And so I started on Instagram posting pictures of my food. I think it's kind of weird if people want to see what you eat. I think it's a little fetishistic, but they love it. So I'll just whatever, and it's down to about a meal a day. And that has actually helped me. I'll tell you why. It helps me more than even logging food in MyFitnessPal. I put the food out there and I say my main meal of the day. And I feel like once I've put it out there, I need to be truthful to that. So last night, I'd had my main meal of the day, posted it on Instagram. You're welcome to follow me. It was a chicken thigh with green beans and butter. And last night I was sitting with Lovely Mate. We have our routine. We sit about 2 feet from each other every night and do our thing. I said, you know what? Normally I might jump up right now and go into the kitchen and get something to eat. Cheese, allowed food. I don't ever cheat. Cheese, some summer sausage, if there was leftovers from lunch, something. I said, but you know what? I really don't need to. I'm not hungry. He says, well, why would you, hi, Bonnie, I'm glad you were able to figure it out. Why would you do it? I said, you know what? I don't know. And that's the big question for us, right? Why do we eat if we're not hungry? I said, I'm feeling a little anxious. Why are you anxious? He asked. I said, I don't really. And there was some stuff going on, nothing dramatic. Frankly, it has more to do with the Go Keto with Casey stuff. I'm trying to manage everything. It's getting busy. So I said, but you know what? This is a good lesson for me. And I've already posted my main meal of the day on Instagram, so can't go back on that. And it's really helped. Now, my weight might go up tomorrow. It probably will. Weight fluctuates. If you look at my blog, CaseyDurango.com, look at the tab that says my next goal, you can see how it goes like this. So don't be discouraged. I weigh every day. Many people find that too stressful. And do what works for you. For me, it helps keep me on track and it helps reinforce what I'm doing. Anxious, give me a dirty martini, says Debbie. You know, I love a good martini. There's a quote from Dorothy Parker. I think I ought to cross-stitch into something. Dorothy Parker, the great wit from the 30s, said, I love a good martini. 2 at the very most. 3, I'm under the table. And 4, I'm under the hose. True story. Okay, get back to work, Kirby Keto. Love you very much. So somebody, cuckoo clock goes on. Yeah, sorry. So I am, and I wanted to share with you my friend. So what was different with me that maybe I've lost some weight here. So that brings me to 93.1 pounds since I started keto, 111.2 under my heaviest. Okay? I will pat myself on the back. So my friend had popped in and said she was down another half a pound. She's been texting me. So I got out, off my Facebook Live thing, and I'm glad you love it, Olga. I said, so what have you done differently? She said she stopped cheating. I said, cheating? I said, you didn't tell me you were cheating. She said, well, I didn't want to. I said, how would you cheat? She said, I would, I'd go out and have dinner with my husband, and he would say, oh, come on and have dinner, and maybe there'd be something, and I take a slice of bread, or I have some chips or nuts or something. So I just quit doing that over the course of, I guess, the last couple of weeks. She's lost 4.4 pounds, and she doesn't have much to lose. Moral of the story, it works if you work it. Now, we all have to find what works for us. If something's not working for you, ask yourself some qualifying questions. First of all, are you keeping your carbs below about 20 a day? Are you in ketosis? If you are, and you're not losing weight over an extended period, I'm not talking about over 3 days or a week. I'm talking about, Dr. Westman calls a plateau when you have lost 0 ounces and 0 inches for 4 weeks. Take your measurements. I never did that. I have yet to do it. I'd be very curious to see what my measurements are now, but I never did. Amy, I cheated the other day. I ate a grapefruit. The vintage girls say, well, what they say is, when God gives you lemons, make a whiskey sour. So if it's not working, ask yourself some questions. And if you're in ketosis, keeping your carbs, your total carbs 20 or lower, and you're really not losing, and you're not losing inches, are you overeating fat? Talked about this ad infinitum. You don't need to choke down a lot of extra fat. Keep it simple. Eat off the allowed food list, eat only when hungry. Are you eating only when hungry? That's the next question. And if you're saying yes to all those things, then maybe you just really, you have to look deeper. You have to tweak something. So keep it up, though. That's really the moral of the story. One cheat day, not a good idea. Okay, I'll talk another time about a study that talks about a cheat day. It was a well-formulated study of people who were heavily into long time in ketosis, like me, and the effect of one small cheat meal. I think it was 1 cup of cooked pasta, which is, why do you bother to boil the water for a cup of pasta? A yeast roll and a square of brownie. So that was not much of a meal. And it was not a good idea. Everyone got kicked out of ketosis. The average time it took to get back into ketosis, and these are professional people who really know the ketogenic diet. I mean, they're really long-term. Took 4 days to get back in to ketosis. One woman took 13 days from the one meal. So interesting. Cheating, no good. Okay. So Lovable asks, how do I feel about net carbs? I do total carbs. Do what works for you. Dr. Westman says total carbs. It's said that you can do net carbs by minusing out the fibers, but there's not necessarily great science behind whether or not fiber is absorbed or not absorbed, and it may or may not be with different people. So I keep it simple. I do total carbs. Vintage girls, post the calories on Instagram under hashtags. This will help us. I can do that. I can try to remember to do that. Frankly, it's not many calories. And you're welcome to see it on my Fitness Pal. I post it. It's not. I'm usually about 800 or 900 calories a day, including my adult beverage, plural. Yeah, one cheat day turns into a face down side into a pile of chocolate chips. Yep. So I say don't mess with it. I think Debbie says, I think Dr. Stephen Finney says that too much protein will stall weight loss. Do you find that to be true? Protein is a big question. He also says that he doesn't know how much protein he eats. Someone asked him at a recent conference. If you eat from the allowed food list and take all that food with its normally accompanying fat, you'll kind of self-regulate. So keep your carbs below 20, eat only off the allowed food list, and eat only when hungry and stop when you're satiated. It's difficult to overeat protein. But yes, overeating protein supposedly can start to be metabolized by the liver the same way a carbohydrate would be. So it can knock you out of ketosis. So, you don't have to, this is not a high protein diet. It's not a low protein diet. It's moderate protein. The rest is made up in fat. Your keto sticks turn purple, but your blood tests are at a 0.4. Okay. Are you taking on exogenous ketones? Like keto OS, I think it's called. Sometimes that can spill over. My lovely mate is in ketosis, but his blood readings tend to be much lower than mine. Mine are freakishly high. His are low. And keep in mind, it sounds like dehydration. It could be, Olga says, because your sticks will go very high. Remember, they're measuring the spillover of acetoacetate in your urine. So if you're checking first thing in the morning, the keto sticks might show nothing because the ketones are diluted first thing in the morning because you've not peed all night. At night, if you're more dehydrated, they'll show. But remember that the readings, they don't have hundreds of thousands of subjects that have been testing ketones over the years, unlike like blood sugar. You know, you can find 100,000 data points for people who have been testing their blood sugar. And so they have a bell curve for that. We don't have a whole lot of studies, well-controlled studies about measuring ketones. I would say stick with it. Don't worry about it. And also, I'm not sure whether time of day on the blood testing makes a difference. I don't know that it does. But I would say if you're showing purple, you're in ketosis. The keto sticks will not give you a false positive. They might give you a false negative. And Melissa says you're not losing. Well, do you have much to lose, Melissa? You know, if you only have 10 or 15 pounds to lose, it can be slow. You can be in ketosis and not lose weight. If you are eating dietary fat, you're a fat burner, you're in ketosis. But if you're eating dietary fat to the point that your body is getting all of its energy needs, being fat, from what you're putting in your mouth, it doesn't need to look to your body fat, your stores of fat to burn. I don't know. I mean, you know, keep back in. How long have you been at it? There are a lot of variables, but you can be in ketosis and not lose weight if you're overeating fat and calories. Remember, there are a lot of calories in fat, and ultimately, energy balance matters. I don't like to call it calories because that freaks people out, but your body has certain energy needs on a given day. It's going to burn what it needs to keep the lights on. And if you're consuming it, it's not going to take it from your reserves. Give it time, Melissa. 2 weeks, give it some time. Keep at it. Don't overeat dietary fat. Do not be doing the bulletproof coffee. Do not be doing the fat bombs. Eat off the allowed food list. Eat only when hungry. Keep your carbs below 20. I don't want to take up everyone's morning. Keep in mind that, not keep in mind, reminder, there's going to be a live event Monday morning, the 13th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's Greenwich Mean Time minus 5 hours. I've got it scheduled to do this every Monday. I put it on my calendar on my blog. If you go to my blog, you can see my calendar. And I've gone ahead and done it. We'll probably need to make some adjustments throughout the year. But if there's interest and people continue to show up and be engaged, I'll continue to do it. Also, as a little reminder, I do, and I'm getting to the point where I really do need to concentrate more time on this. I do coaching, one-on-one or small groups. So go to my blog, CaseyDuranger.com, to see about that. If anyone's interested in some one-on-one or small group coaching, I find one-on-one is really good, but small groups of only three people at a time, video coaching works well too, because there's a lot of good information out there. So just check it out. Hey, Marion said, started losing again, pound a week. Marion, what did you do? Did you make a change or, and Jill, I'll put a link up. I think it's on my blog as well, but I'll try to put a link below this video thing after it's over to Dr. Westman's updated food list. You can get it from Amazon. So it's a pamphlet, but it also gives you more information about how to do the program. I'm glad you, oh, I'm sorry, Marion. I didn't see the above post. I've been trying to watch. Okay, sorry about that. So I will, oh, also, I've decided, this will be my last point before I hop off. I've been thinking long and hard about this. I'm going to continue to do the content like this available to everybody for free. I've got some things coming up going forward that I want to do more in-depth and a little bit more personal content that I will be putting behind a Patreon paywall so you can subscribe to it. You don't, there will always be free content is my intention. But I do need to do the more in-depth stuff is very time consuming. And one of those things will be my probable experience with getting some skin reduction surgery, skin removal surgery. at some point, and that's rather personal. And also starting exercise and to see what happens when I get to goal, how that changes, and then also maybe some interviews and things like that with different people. So just to let you know, no, that's not happening in a minute. It's going to be a while, but just want to give everyone a heads up. Is there a link for the white coat video? Yes, I'll put that on a refreshed link. Actually, it's on my playlist. If you look on my channel, my playlist, it'll be the very first one. So simple. Dr. Westman is so awesome. It's so straightforward. No sugar, no starch. This was made years ago when he's talking to patients at his clinic at Duke. And he didn't do it for the internet. A grad student of his set it up and uploaded it. Uh-oh. Someone lose my audio? Can you guys hear me? Okay. Thanks, Marion. Can anyone else hear me? Maybe that's the universe telling me it's time to stop talking. Okay. Don't know what happened. Audio's gone. Bye, y'all. Hasta la vista.